Hello everyone. Welcome to the post-show Q&A session of Haute, also known as Fire, the debut fiction feature of the very, very lovely Kazakh filmmaker Aizhan Kassymbek, who is here with us virtually on screen in this pre-recorded session this evening. I'm not sure what the time is when you're watching this. Yes. So Aizhan is a very, very interesting figure and also a rising star in the Kazakh film industry. She's a director and cinematographer who is working on a series of films that takes inspiration from the four basic elements. And her first two shorts, Water in 2018 and Air, also in 2018, were screened at festivals in Europe and Asia, most particularly Busan International Film Festival and Hanoi International Film Festival. And Haute or Fire is her first feature film. So I guess just to get into it straight, Aizhan, I just want to tell you that I love the film. I loved how light you keep things, even though it is actually very depressing to think about in real life when that happens. And I think that the first question I want to ask you is related to the film, but also not quite. Tell us more about the kind of the series of films named after elements. Why elements? Is there a special significance of the four elements in Kazakh mythology, society, or culture?
Yeah. So first of all, hello to everyone, and I want to say that I'm very happy that my film will be in the Singapore Film Festival. And I'm happy that finally, little by little, festivals going on, online, offline. About shorts and my feature film about elements. When I started to shooting a long time ago, I decided that I want to shoot 4 short films about elements. In that time, it was quite interesting for me how elements. I mean that we people, we humans, were really connected with nature. So that's why it was very interesting for me how nature affects on us. And I started to shoot short films. But in 2019, it was a big competition here in Kazakhstan, script competition. Yeah, and I apply documents, and I decided that probably maybe this is the time when I can shoot a feature film. And yeah, I won a competition, and that's how I started to shoot feature film. Probably maybe if not that competition, maybe I start to shoot feature a little later. So like this.
Yeah. Thank you. I think it's always interesting to know the origin of things, and I guess I'm really curious about your writing process for Haute, because you said that it is also part of a competition. Watching the film, I really loved it. It is very quick. It is very light, but it is also very, very realistic in a way about the situation that's happening in Kazakhstan, the kind of society and the kind of lives of the poor. In that kind of context. Can you tell us a bit more about your writing process for Haute?
So yeah, I'm not the professional screenwriter. But I always have some kind of idea in my mind. I really love to watch what happens outside, what happens in society. So I really love to observe environment. Yeah, and I write this script with my friend in the beginning with my friend. we sit and think about what we want to, what kind of story we want to make, and we thought a lot about idea. And actually, Tolik, as the main character of the film, I think it's some kind of how to say in English? It's a person who show all Kazakhstan. For me, Tolik, it's a Kazakhstan. It's just simple person who try to do his best, who struggle, who feed his family. So actually, it's not an easy process, you know. It takes some time. So, for example, me and my screenwriter, we wrote in the beginning about only idea we wrote about 1 year, and when this contest starts, we had a very short time. So, and we had to write very quick script. So it took about 1.5 years altogether to write the script.
How different was the final screenplay or script that you used while shooting from the original idea? Was there any major changes in the way the story goes, in the way Tolik as a character evolved?
Yeah, it in the end, the first draft and draft which I used right before shooting, it was quite different. I put a lot of changes. Firstly, when you write script, it's one story, and when you came on set, it's an absolutely different story, because on set everything can be really absolutely different that you imagine or that you wrote. So, and for me, I don't know, there is two type, I guess, of directors. First type who follows the script very strictly, and the second, I guess, it's me. For me, a movie, and it's like alive, something alive, something which has vital energy, life, and it can be, in the beginning. So during the process of shooting a film, can tell you how it will be. For example, end of the film, it was absolutely different end, but when we almost when we finished our shooting, I feel that end should be different, and I'm sitting listening the music, and boom, suddenly the ending came to my mind. And and we change and we go and take additional one more shooting day, and we change the ending. So for me, a movie is something alive which can transform during the shooting. Yeah.
Can you tell us about the original secret ending, or do you want to keep it a secret?
I can I can a little tell. I think, the main idea of the film for me, and which I really want to put in the movie, that problems never end, actually, and the problem has universal language. I mean that you, me, other people in the world, we have the same problems, daily routine, financial moments, some so it never ends, and what we have, actually, what we can do, it's keep going, support each other. It's very important. Support each other. Support your family, your close person, your close people who you love, and I think I would say, maybe it's some kind of little strange, but dance, sing, yeah, well, sometimes we have to dance and sing and just be happy and try to have little fun in our life. So
Thank you. That's really lovely. I think for me, the last scene was also so beautiful with the dancing, but also intercutting with the labor of having to work of working in a factory, working with bread, with food, a very fundamental elements of human society. And I guess also on my end, when I watched it, it kind of reminded me of when I watched this short film by Tao Fei, the Chinese artist, who are kind of looking at workers working in a factory and living their dreams in China. So I think, as you say, dance is a very universal language. It expresses a lot of joy. And I think what is also so interesting about Haute is also definitely about the casting. Tolik looks like he is Tolik. He's meant to play Tolik. Have you worked with the actor Tulet Bergen Baisakalov before? I don't know whether I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Please help correct me if it's, yeah. How do we do it? How do we say it correctly?
Yeah, actually, you're quite right. And yeah, Tolik Bergen Baisakalov, I worked with him only once many years ago. And I remember that I decided to myself that one day I want to work with him again. And when I write the script, I mean, 100% I know that this character should be Tolik, should play Tolik Bergen by Sakalov. And I have a good news. Yesterday he won prize Best Actor in Sochi, Russia. So he's a very great actor. Yeah, I really love him. Why I want he plays this role, because he has a very comical face, but what I need, he has a comical face, but inside, if you look in his eyes, he has a very deep drama. So actually, exactly what I wanted. It's yeah, and all film, as you can see that outside, I mean that it seems like comedy, but it's a drama actually. Inside structure, it's a drama. So Tolik, he's a very talented actor. It was quite interesting, quite easy to work with him. And you're very right that his name Tolik Bergen, but we call him Tolik. So that's why I decided to leave this name Tolik. And for me, Tolik, it's a symbol of all these simple people who live here in Kazakhstan, and not only Kazakhstan, everywhere in the world, Yeah, Tolik, like a slash simple man.
Yeah. Does Tolik actually mean simple, or is there a meaning to the name Tolik?
For me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For me.
Okay. But it's really sweet that you mentioned that, and I think congratulations to Telebergen as well. I think what is so interesting for me watching him on screen as well is that he reminds me a lot of the energy that Song Kang-ho was bringing to his roles, for example, in Parasite, in The Host and whatever, in that he is smiling, but you can tell he's crying on the inside. And I think that that makes that contrast of both the comedy of the situation and the sadness of the reality. The way that it comes together, it creates this very beautiful harmony in Haute. And I guess I also wanted to ask you, how was it like, working with the other actors? How was the casting process like for them? Even though we kind of know that the star is Tolik, I'm also always very drawn to Altinai. Whenever she's on screen, there is a certain warmth and presence to her. And there's really that kind of motherliness. And I think that the way that you have been working with the different characters are very are full of humor and humanity. And I just wanted to ask you, how was it like to cast the other actors? Have you also worked with them before?
So, for me, a process of casting, it's always the most hardest, the most long way, because for me it's a quite I would say important. And in the beginning I thought that the character of Altnai, I want to work with another actress, but I started to think more about this character, and I realized that she should look different, And we had a casting, and in one of the days she came, and she came up to me and she said that, oh, Aizhan, I really like the story, and I really tired of playing always these very comedy characters, comedian characters. I want to try something more serious. Yeah, and a little later I saw how she worked together with Tolik Bergen. I mean that this combination, and for me it's the best. How would say, the best combination of characters, actors. In I'm sorry, yeah. For me, a little hard to explain. Yeah, I haven't enough English words. So it took casting took a lot of time. I paid a lot of attention. I didn't work with all these actors before, and it was quite interesting, quite easy on set. We had a few rehearsals before, and it was, quite fun. Also, I really want to work again with Manshuk, because I think she's a very talented actress. She is like, Tolik. She has very comic face, but deep inside she has a very deep drama. So it's very interesting. Yeah.
I think you have a real talent for, to be able to find that good balance. The drama plays out at the same time as the comedy, as the tragedy. And I think the layering of this different kind of emotions and tones are what made it so interesting for me. Maybe because of the fact that the last Kazakh films that I watched was Mariam by Sharipa Uras by Yeva, as well as basically the films of Emir Baygazin. And after I watched it, I get depression. Yeah, all the time. And so watching, the way that you worked with the plot, with the character, with the set design, and with the production, it's really, really bright, and it really injects a sense of life. I think that where there's always a time for something more somber, much more reserved, there's also a time for something brighter that can really inject the breath of life into the situations. And I guess I'm so curious about one thing in particular, because your cinematography is gorgeous, and the color is so bright. It pops, and you play a lot with symmetry and asymmetry and framing. Can you also talk to us about how you work with your cinematographer in shooting the film? Because it's very clean, but it is also not sentimental, but it also has a lot of humor in the visual storytelling. And I particularly like the sequences when Tolik was passing the bread to the shop owners, and you just have this shots of them looking to the camera like, oh, that's all? Yes, you're late today. Yeah. So yeah, can you tell us a bit more about the cinematography?
Thank you. It's a good question. My DOP, her name is Aygul. Yeah, Aygul, very talented woman, director of photography. We met when I started my career, so we started to work together. Yeah, almost. So we make one short together, one feature, and also after a fire we make another feature together. So yeah, we work quite a lot together. So for me was very important. Don't show drama in the way of drama. You know, I didn't want to how would say torture viewers by this very hard, crucial drama. I think for me it was quite easy, to show this story by the way of tragedy, to show how everything is so hard, how this, I actually, yeah, I didn't want to make this, I want to, first of all, I always think about viewers. Yeah, I want that in the end, viewers see it, watch, and didn't feel that they really can get some kind of depression, or yeah, go out from the cinema with this hard feelings. But at the same time, I mean that my film is about actually real people, real situation which happens here in Kazakhstan. And me and my DP, we thought a lot about art concept, also production designer. Yeah. And we decided that we want to make this experiment, For us, it was quite big challenge to shoot exactly in this way. Yeah, I told you that for us, the way to shoot drama with drama form, it was quite easier, But we really want to make some kind of experiment. It was challenge for us, and we had great references in our mind. It's maybe director Aki Kaurismäki, also Georgian director Georgi Danelia and Wes Anderson. So, all these directors, they have very comical, funny picture, but they shoot and talk about drama. So I think it's a very interesting way to talk with viewers. So.
Thank you so much about that. And I also really love the music. And I guess with the dance music at the end, did you have original music composed for the film, or did you work with your sound designer and music people to see what already currently exists? Because listening to the dance track makes me want to dance as well, and it makes me think whether it is original music for the film, because the rest of the credits it's either in Kazakh or Russian. I couldn't tell like what a lot of the end informations are. So I was rewatching the credits like, ooh, okay, I don't know whether Google can translate from a picture, but yeah.
Actually, I work with composer. He's a Korean guy. We met in Korea. Yeah, I think he's quite talented. It's very interesting process to work with composer when you want to get some inspiration, when you want to get some ideas, and also you have to share with your thoughts with composer, especially with person who is not from Kazakhstan. We always communicate in English. So for me also was quite challenge, a big challenge, and but for composer, he really want to make something very good, suitable for film, for structure, Yeah, and he put a lot of his efforts and attention to all details, to tone of the movie, you know. So yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah. And I think moving on from the visual and the sonic elements of the film, one thing that I really, really, really want to ask you is the bread company in the film real? How did you work? How did you gain access to an actual bread factory? I love the shots that you had with Aigul, as you mentioned, and particularly, you know, in the factory when they were pounding the bread, when they were kneading the dough and baking it. I loved that kind of assembly line montage. I like a lot of industrial heritage, and I just wanted to ask, you know, was it an actual bread factory, or was it something that you and your production designer have to make from scratch?
No, it's impossible to recreate it because we didn't have a lot of budget, you know. No, actually, it's a real factory. Uh, Moreover, it's one of the oldest, not one of the, it's oldest factory in our country. So this place is very symbolic. This place is very unique. Yeah, it's and we and we wait about, I don't know, 6 months, I guess, permission to shoot there because, you know, it was pandemic. And but I really wanted to shoot, to make a shooting exactly there because, you know, it's impossible to recreate, to I would say, to show the such process, you know, because this exactly this place, it's already has its own atmosphere, own history. So yeah, I'm quite happy that we can get permission, and you know, it's very hard to shoot in this place because the temperature is so high. Yeah, it's very hard there, hot there, but it's so interesting. You know, it's a huge factory. When you go inside, yeah, it's a process of how they make all this bread. It's so interesting, so unique, and I really wanted to try to show this.
Thank you. And I think the architecture of factories itself, of themselves, are so interesting to look at, the way that industrialization and this kind of production lies in the heart of, you know, basically every country. I wanted to kind of ask, did you shoot in Almaty or in Nur Sultan, or where did you actually set the film? Where was the production done, or was it from all over Kazakhstan?
No. We shoot only in Almaty, only in one city. Yeah. So.
I think it's, yeah. I mean, I watched it. I would just really, really want to visit Kazakhstan when the plate years are over. And yeah, and I think one thing that also I'm very curious about was, you know, how was it like making your first feature? You know, after having made a couple of very interesting short films as well. Were there some surprising challenges that you faced, or was it actually a very smooth and kind of organic transitions? What were the difficulties and what were the parts that were surprisingly easy for you?
No, it wasn't easy. It wasn't smooth, you know, at all. It was it was hell. It was really hell. It was quite hard. First of all, because, you know, we start shooting exactly when pandemic starts, so that's why we have to delay our shooting 3 times. Yeah, and it means that uh, uh, it's very nervous. Shooting actually is very nervous process, and shooting of your debut feature, it's quite nervous process. And also shooting during the pandemic, it's a really hell. Yeah, but in the end, it was quite good, you know, experience for me. Um, Shoot first feature debut film so my experience, it's, I think, first of all, you're faced with your inner inside some, how would say, not problems, but with your inner voice. Yeah, when the inner voice always telling you something and you have some kind of doubts and insecure, not insecurity, but okay, I forgot this word.
You can use the word in Kazakh or Russian. I'll try to get the festival to translate in the subtitles.
Just a second. Confidence. Yeah. This voice inside of you tell you that you are not quite maybe good, maybe this story is not good, maybe you do not correct, and it's a way how you want to shoot is not the best, and all these thoughts always inside of your head. Yeah, and it's first of all, you're faced with yourself, when you make a debut film. And second, you're faced with some production problems on set during the pre-production. Yeah, and in the end, we can make it. Yeah, me, my production team, we little struggle, I think. Yeah, not little, but but in the end, we're really proud. We're really happy. The biggest, the most good thing for us, for creators, after our first screening, we got feedbacks from viewers, and it was so interesting that viewers, not in Kazakhstan, but absolutely in the different part of the world, they watch and they really understand all ideas, all ideas which we put in our movie. So for me, for all team, I think it's the best, prize.
Thank you for that. I think that's really moving. I think it takes a village to make a film. It takes a lot of people and a lot of hard work, and the director and the producers to kind of hold them through everything. And I guess on this note, I'm also want to ask you, what then of your next feature? Is it going to be titled Earth, or is that going to be another short film? What do you have next?
Actually, during the shooting, during the pre-production of Fire, I started to think about next project, and I started to write a script. And exactly when we finished post-production of Fire, I started to making a pre-production of my next feature film. And it will be drama in the way of drama. Yeah, but in this in my second movie, it was impossible to shoot in different way, because the story can't let you to shoot in different way, only in the way of this tragedy drama. The title will be Madina. Madina is the name of main character. So it's an independent, absolutely 100% independent project. We shoot it for very low budget with help of all the team. Yeah, because the story which we make, it was quite important for us to show the story, to share with the world. So I finished 1 month ago, and I hope soon it will be also screened in the world.
Yeah. And thank you so much for your generosity, Aizhan, for telling us your story, the story of Oud. Uken Khakmet, that's what Google is telling me to say, how to say thank you in Kazakh. I hope that was pronounced correctly. So for our lovely viewers at home, OAT is a part of the Asian feature competition. And there are a variety of other titles and other sections in SGIFF as well that will be running from the 25th of November until 5th of December. So feel free to get your tickets. If you're watching this, this means already you already bought a ticket to OAT, for which we thank you so much. And we hope you have a lovely remainder of the festival. And we definitely are looking forward to seeing your future films as well, Aizhan. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.